for this video, I'm going to do one that I've been wanting to do for a while, which is a wall scale and ceiling hang, similar to Darksiders 2, where if the main character encounters a wall with like vines on it, then the character can climb up the wall, or they can hang off the ceiling. So I'm going to start off with the wall. Start off doing the idle. This will be 30 frames long. And I'm going to make it so that this the z-axis is an imaginary wall, and I'm going to have them, I'm going to use that as a reference point. So I'm going to grab everything, move them back. Turn this first so that make it so that the back of the hands are nice and flush with the wall. And then I'm going to grab them. Actually, this one can be a little bit more like this. I'll grab both. Actually, another thing that I could do is his fingers could be open a bit more. Oops. I'm actually going to bring this back, and instead I'm going to rotate the spine. Oops, that's too much. Just a little bit. I think if he's scaling a wall, It's probably more like he's hanging, so his hands have to be higher. Like that. So for the first frame, I'm going to key everything. And because it's idle, he has to have a slight movement. But because his hands are stuck to the wall, the only thing that I need to animate for the item is the main controller. So the middle frame, I'll make it go down and backwards, and then for the quarter frames, I'll go slightly here, the opposite direction for here. That's basically it. Okay, so I'm just going to export this. This will be called main character scale wall idle. I'm going to save the Blender file by the same name. Scale wall idle. Okay. So from this scale wall idle animation, I'm going to create the other animation. So up, down, left, right. So I'll start with the up. So I'm going to select everything and delete all the keys except for the first frame. First frame. Make it so that so if he's moving up, I'll have him looking up. And this will be his starting pose. So I'll start with the feet and legs, or the feet and hands. So these will be the same on the last frame. I'll do that first. The middle frame, the hands and legs will be switched. this leg here, starting from the top, pushing down on the return. You see, go slightly up. Same for this one, except he starts returning, so halfway, slightly up. And we do the same things with the hands. So this hand returns at the beginning. This one returns at the end. And at the beginning, I want to push his upper body to the left because I want the weight to be on the leg that's pushing down. And it's going to be the same for the last frame. But over here, it's going to be on the other side because the opposite leg is pushing down. It looks fine, so this one will be scale wall, up, export, save, by the same name, scale wall, up. And I'm going to open up the idle again. And then I'll do the same thing, but for the down. Delete all the keys. So the down is the opposite. You can continue to look down on his way down, so like that. So same deal with this one. We'll start with the legs. On his way up, the leg slightly moves off, returns, and then pushes down. Same with this leg. This one pushes down first and then returns. Same thing with the arms. Returns at the beginning. And then pulls down. And this one pulls down and then returns. Okay, so the only thing I have to do is shift the weight. So at the beginning, it's on the leg that's about to push down. There we go. And this leg. I've got these mixed up actually. I'm gonna, oops. I've got everything mixed up. These are all backwards. Okay, so let me do this again. This foot starts off down. So he goes up, the leg goes up, and then returns down. Has to, because he's going downwards. Same with this one. This one returns down, so therefore and same with the arms. So on the way up, it's like he's pushing his body down, so it doesn't come off the wall. But when he returns, then the hand temporarily comes down to catch the bottom wall. And same with this one right here. He returns at the beginning. When he catches himself, he pushes his body down. So, at the beginning, his weight has to be on this left side because it's against the wall, so it can handle the weight of his upper body. Whoops. Sorry, it should be on this side. And on this one, Good enough. Okay. So we call skill wall down for the FBX. And save it by the same name for the Blender file. And I'll open up the idle again to do the left and right. Okay, so grab all the bones, delete all the keyframes except for the first one. And for the first frame, actually I'll start off by rotating his head. It's going to be looking left slightly. And so his feet and wrists are the same. Last one. I'm actually going to make his hands crossover. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make a crossover. It's too much. Instead of making them cross over, I'll change the height. So in the middle frame, make it so that this one has to move out. So I guess I could do the same thing for the legs. I can make one higher, one lower. Okay, so this foot here. Pushes his body this way, and on the return, the foot comes off the wall. This one here, it's the opposite. So his upper body is going to be on the leg the weight's going to be on the leg that's pulling the wall back. So it will be this leg here, so he's going to be towards that one. And then it's going to be the same for the last frame. But here, this is the leg that's going to push off, so it's going to be more on the right leg. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. So I'll export this as scale wall left. And the Blender file will be the same. And I'm going to open up the idle again and do the final right animation. So the animation tab. Can delete all keys except for the first. This time, this one will be lower. This one will be higher. This hand will be closer to his body. This one will be higher. And I can't forget to rotate his head slightly to the right. Can you hear everything? Last frame's the same as the first. In the middle, this one's going to be more out. So is this one. Oh, I've actually have these backwards. The arms should be close together in the middle, but at the beginning and end frames, you should be more out. So I'll copy and paste those to the last frame. So this one is returning. So he's returning at the beginning and then pushing. This one is returning on the second half. This one's returning at the beginning. This one's returning in the second half. And all I need to do now is shift the weight on the leg that is about to push. So here it would be this leg here. So I'm going to push him to the left. Same with the last frame. And this one, he pushes with his right leg. Like this, it's not animated. Alright. Actually, that looks fine. So you just need to export it and save it. So export, same drill. Scale wall right for the FBX. And same name for the Blender file. Okay, I'm going to open the arms down again. I'm doing the ceiling hang. This will be the idle in 3 frames, so 1 second. First, I'm going to position the hands. First, I'll rotate them so the back of their hands are facing forward, like this. Same with this one. Basically, what I want to do is when he's hanging off the ceiling, the top of the character controller capsule in Unity is 2 units high, which is basically same as 2 Blender units, so 1, 2. So his hand should be touching the top like this. His body, his legs should be dangling down. because in the game, the capsule is going to be skimming the bottom of the ceiling. And his clavicle looks funky. So I'm not sure if actually his whole body needs to be hooked up so he's flush with that 2-unit line. So this looks fine. I just need to animate the idol, so first and last frames. Actually, I'll make it so that his legs are swaying a little bit. So in the middle, and the front view. slightly to the left and slightly to the right here, but his legs are going to be pushed a little bit more to the left here, a little bit more to the right here. So that will be his ceiling hang idol. Looks good enough. So select all the geometry, export FBX. Oops, it didn't select all the geometry. And this will be called ceiling hang idle. Let's see, name for the blender. Ceiling hang idle. One more quick save. So for the forward movement, we can use the exact same file. There we go. I'm going to delete all the keys except for the first, as usual. First, I'll bring all this forward a little bit, and we'll start with his arms first. Keyframe everything on the first frame. I'll start with the wrist position, so the first and last frames are the same. Last frame, the two are switched. So like walking, the one in the front goes backwards to pull him forward, and the return oops, this is the wrong hand. I need to be looking this way. So This one returns at the beginning. Catches the ceiling and then pulls back. The other wrist. Pulls at the beginning and then returns the second half. So the legs and the main controller are the same level for the last frame and the middle frame, but in these middle frames, because he's dangling off of one arm, he needs to go down and to the right, and over here he needs to go down. Oops. And to the left. Actually, he's dangling off that arm. He should be like this. From the front it looks kind of interesting, but from the side, I think he needs to go front to back. No idea if this is going to look right. I'm just trying to create some variation. So if I play it, that looks interesting enough to me. So I'm just going to go and export it. Make sure everything's selected. And I'll call this one ceiling hang forward. And make sure to save the Blender file. Ceiling hang forward. And all I have to do is grab all those files that I just created, all the FBXs, the scale wall, and the ceiling hangs, copy, and paste into the Unity folder. Once that's all there, head back to Unity. So ceiling hang. These all have boot times because they're all either idle or moving in a direction. So find scale wall down, scale wall idle, scale wall left, scale wall right, scale wall up, and I think that's it. So in this, the next part, I need to add all these animations to the animator. So I'll create a couple of blend trees. First one's going to be scale wall. And I'll create another one called ceiling hang. scale wall. Actually, I want to start with the ceiling hang first. And ceiling hang idle and the ceiling hang forward. Ceiling hang forward. Oh, wrong one. Ceiling hang. Ceiling hang idle. So this one's fine. Actually, I need to do one more thing. I forgot in crouch. I need to create one more motion field. And crouch walk. I want to add a third one and put the crouch walk here as well. This way I don't forget. And we'll do the exact same thing. The scale wall. Oops, wrong one. I mean ceiling hang. I want to add one more motion field. Idle. Forward. And forward. The reason is there's a small chance that the player presses the right mouse button to run and he's going to move faster. I haven't figured out how I'm going to fix that yet because there's no running with the ceiling hang, but I'm just going to leave it for now because I want these values to match up, 0, half, and 1. I don't want the ceiling hang forward movement to just be in 1. I want it to be in 0.5 as well. So the tricky one is the scale wall because this one this is going to be a 2D freeform. This is going to have 5 motion fields. And I need 2 parameters. So far, only speed is being used. So I need another float called scale wall X. Another one called scale wall Y. So I believe the horizontal is the X. So if I set all these to 0, all these X values, then everything should move to the center. Like that one. And same with the Y. So I'll start with ceiling, no, the scale wall. Ceiling hang idle. So this will be 0, 0, 0. So everything's in the center right now. So this will be idle. If he's going ceiling, let's see. I Oh, ceiling hanging up. I'll look for ceiling. Oh no, I'm not doing ceiling hang. I'm doing scale wall. Sorry. Scale wall idle. It's going to be 0, 0. Scale wall up. The Y is going to be 1. So you can see, put it right here. Oh, I have to set these actually. Scale wall X, scale wall Y. So position Y should be position X should be 1. Oh no, position Y. Keep on forgetting Y is the vertical. So that's forward. Do I need to use an integer because this one isn't showing up? I'm going to set these back to speed for a second. And I'm going to delete these. Integer, scale wall X, scale wall Y. Okay, these aren't showing up, so these must be right. Oh, there we go. That's why it didn't show up. Okay, so with forward, scale wall down. This will be -1. Scale wall left. This will be -1 in the X, and scale wall right will be +1 in the X. So if I play the animation here, he's idling. If I take this scale and go the positive, then he goes up. If I go the other way, he goes down. I'll set this back to 0. If I go right, then he goes right. Goes left. Just say I go right and up. If I go the opposite direction. Okay, so they all blend very nicely. So that's the animator setup. Give it a quick save. Okay, so before I hop into the script to code this, I'm going to create some assets first. First I'll create I'm going to duplicate this. And this will be a scalable wall. And I'll duplicate it again. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. This one will be a little bit higher. I'll butt it up against the wall. I'll create another one, but this one's going to be much higher. Oops. Oh, sorry, this one will be much lower. The player is 2 units up, so I'll make this one maybe 1 unit higher. This one will be over here somewhere. I need to create some tags. So this first one will be scale wall, and another one called ceiling hang. So this one is going to be scale wall. This one will be ceiling hang. And this one will be ceiling hang. Scale wall, ceiling hang, and ceiling hang. So if I copy this, I can try out my slide. Okay, so this ceiling is pretty good. It's a good wall size for the scaling test. And I have another ceiling here. I can immediately test just the ceiling without having to scale the wall. Okay, looks fine. I'm going to my script, and I'll start off by creating some, in the update function I'll create some methods. So it'll be same name, scale, wall, and ceiling hang. And I'll call these up at the very bottom. So private void, or is it? I want to do public void. Public void scale wall. another one called public void ceiling hang. So for the scale wall, I'm going to take a look at wall slide. So I guess I should make some booleans. Bool can scale wall. By default it's false. And bool can ceiling hang. By default it's false. So with the can wall slide, I have a raycast. I'll just copy this whole thing. And I'll paste it into scale wall. Transform position forward. Tag has to be scale wall. Hit to distance smaller or equal to all distance is grounded is equal to false, meaning that he is jumping. So in this case, if it is within a certain distance to the wall and is jumping, then can scale wall equals true. Otherwise, can scale wall is equal to false if, so this is can wall slide, where's my wall slide? Okay, it's right here. Do another raycast if can wall slide is true. Let's copy and paste all this. Raycast hit the scale wall. I'll probably get rid of all this. Get rid of this. Can scale wall is true. Can scale wall is false. I don't need as wall sliding. Can control is false. Set boolean is forgot to add booleans. Is scaling wall and is ceiling hanging. So gets to scale wall if the scaling wall is true. It fires back if is scaling wall is false. It fires to ceiling hang if his ceiling hanging is true, and then fires back if ceiling hanging is false. So his scaling wall is true, his scaling wall is false. See what that does. So if I jump onto this wall, I'm stuck there. I added this can control it as false if the wall is detected. I should also go check the ledge. Where's my ledge? Because this shows me you can move to ledge. If can move to ledge, this is the one that I want. Transform position to hit point. This would be hit point 3. Oh, I forgot to put scale wall for the tag. So go check that this is if he's actually sticking to the wall first. Oh, perfect. But sticking to the wall with the correct pose. But when I press the button, he comes out of... Okay, how did I do movement again? Oh, I forgot. I'm not using can control anymore, I don't think. So if I go to the move function, right, I canceled out can control equals true. It has to be can scale wall is false. So that would be the reason why he's still moving. The next thing that I want to do is if input key code. So input key code. So it will be W, and I'll do an else. And can scale wall equals true. So I'll start off by doing the W. Animator dot set float scale Y, scale wall Y, scale wall Y is 1, and back to my ledge shimmy. I'll just use the shimmy speed. Otherwise, shimmy speed will be set to 0. But the only problem I have is this scale wall Y. Let me see what this looks like first. The animation is playing, but I don't believe he's actually going anywhere. Oh, I know what the problem is. He's going right. He should be going up. What's going on? Finally look on the side here. If I go up, okay, he's going up. I'm very, very, very happy. Okay, I'm going to go back into the script, and I'm going to finish off this movement. So I'm going to copy and paste this 3 times. So the first, so this one was key code W. This one will be key code S. Can scale wall is true, then animator set float scale Y. This would be -1. Shimmy speed 1. This would be minus up, this one I'll start with the right, so key code D, scale x1, transform right, scale x0. And this last one is key code A, scale wall y, or scale wall x -1, shimmy speed, control, this will be negative, right, negative, right. So I'm just going to see how this looks. Okay, so if I go up, the down animation works. Okay, so the down and left animation works, but I'm going to go back into my script. I'm going to double check. Scale. Click my animator, scale wall. So if this is X, -1 is going shimmy left, positive. So there's something wrong, and I'm betting that it could be the scale Y when it's set to 0, it's conflicting with this 0. Let me try this one. Okay, this is making me worried. has to do with these ones. Okay, it actually works now. All I did was just say when I in the key code W script, um, if the button is being pressed, then all this happens. But if it's not, then the scale wall Y in the animator is set to 0. But it was repeated in the down in the key code S. But I just canceled that out, and I did the same thing for the left and right, where key code D, if it's not pressed, then scale while X is set to 0. I had the same thing happening when key code A was not pressed, but I canceled that out. So this the 0 is only set once. It's not set twice. And if it's set twice, one of the movements is not going to play the animation. So if I go now, I'll go to where that shadow line is, where that sunlight is hitting. So it'll be easier to see the differences in movement. So if I go up, if I go left, if I go right, if I go down, if I go down right, down left, all works really well. And if I want to dismount, I can just hit the ground. Later on, I'll maybe add a jump so you can jump off at a higher position onto the ground. But I'm not going to worry about that for now. I'm just happy that this is working. The next thing that I want to do really quickly is I'm going to repeat this in the ceiling hang. So first thing I got to do is do raycast. I'm basically just going to copy and paste. There's no sense in rewriting everything. Okay, if raycast, transform up. So from the character, I want to send a raycast up, and the tag is ceiling hang. If hit distance is smaller or equal to all distance and is grounded as false, then can ceiling hang is equal to true. And this is can't jump off ground is false, can't control is false, and everything. If this raycast is not happening, then all this is opposite. So can ceiling hang is false, can jump off ground is true, can control is true. So so here I'm setting this can ceiling hang. If the can can ceiling, so this one is forward up, tag is ceiling hang, and here I'm checking to see if can ceiling hang is true. And or can ceiling hang cane ceiling hang is false. And this one's the weird one. This one is ceiling hanging is true. Over here is ceiling hanging is false. The only problem with this one is that when I'm scaling the wall, I can just go to the hit point of the raycast, but this one I can't do that because since the raycast is coming from the very bottom of the player, and but the ceiling hit is going to be somewhere on top of the character controller, I need to recalculate this. So hit point, I'm going to figure out a way to make a hit point transform position equals hit point 3 make a transform ceiling hit point I'll say ceiling hit point dot transform dot position maybe I should make that a vector 3. Vector 3. No, that doesn't work. It sort of works now. First, for the ceiling hang, instead of triggering it just from the regular blend tree, I also had to do it from the jump. Especially for the case of this example, because here, just for testing purposes, I put it at a height where he has to jump. Not all cases going to be like that. I want to make it so that he climbs the wall, and as soon as he hits the ceiling, he engages the ceiling from the wall. so he doesn't always have to jump, but just in case he does have to jump, like in this case, then I wanted to go from the jump. Another thing that I did is before I created a vector 3 ceiling hit point, the variables, and down here, transform position. First I set the ceiling hit point to new vector 3 hit point, hit 3 point x, and then the y I want it to be -2 because the transform of the player is at the feet. So if I go to the player here, as you can see, the pivot's down here, which is, if the ceiling's up here, that's the point is 2 units below the ceiling point that I'm trying to attach to. So that's why the y is -2, and the x and the z are just right, whatever it is by default. And then transform dot position equals ceiling hit point, which is this here. And then I'm also rotating transform dot up. Since it's on the ceiling, the normal is facing down, so that's why I have to give it a negative transform up value. What else did I have to do? I had to because I'm tracing up from his feet, I have to change this from a transform dot forward to a transform dot up. It's a transform dot forward when I'm looking for a wall, but I'm looking for a ceiling, so this has to be up. And can ceiling hang is true and can jump off ground is false if the distance is 2.2, because the ray cast is starting at his feet and going up, and he's 2 units high, so I made it a little bit bigger. The distance is 2.2. So that's pretty much it. Let me just go through this. So if I compile that, another way that I could have attached them to the ceiling hit point is to do it with this here, making a vector down, a variable called vector down, which is the hit point in the down direction times 2. So the hit point would be wherever the raycast is hitting it, -2, and basically the character would move to that new position. But another way to do it was just this way with the new vector that I created, ceiling hit point. But anyways, I want to quickly try this. I compile. Okay. So if I hit play, if I quickly run over to that ceiling, if I jump, sometimes it doesn't get it right away. There we go. So now I can like move around, move the camera around, go left, right. Oh, that works fine. Sometimes he just falls off. I don't know why. I need to figure that out. And sometimes he goes really low. And when I'm out, he doesn't really fall. Okay, so I still have to resolve how he's gonna fall. before I do that, I want to figure out how you can transition from the wall scale to ceiling hang. Because that's how it's usually done that's how it was done in Darksiders. So if I go up to this wall, oh, I'm stuck again. Try this once more. So if I go all the way up, I probably have to make a transition from the jump as well. I think that's probably why he's getting stuck in that position. So if I go all the way up, and he encounters the ceiling, I'm curious to see what happens, because he's getting information from two places, from the ceiling above and the wall in front of him. So as soon as he hits the ceiling, he's confused now. So what I can do, what I've tried doing, is first of all I need to go into the animator, and I need to make a transition from the jump to the scale wall, just in case he's jumping onto the wall. And if that's the case, then I need to turn off has exit time, press the plus button, is scaling wall to true. So that's one thing out of the way. The other thing that I have to do is if he's on the wall, so just see all this stuff is happening here. If can scale wall is true, and if can scale wall is true, in here, if can ceiling hang equals true, then I want to try spinning him around. Where did I have that spin around? I had it when I did the wall jump. So if I can find that wall jump method. Wall jump, where are you? Yeah, I don't know where I put it. Wall jump. Move. That's where I can wall slide. Wall slide jump. Here, as soon as he presses the button, he rotates 180 degrees. It happens almost instantaneously, I think. So I'm going to stick that ceiling hang. No. Scale wall. If can ceiling hang is all of a sudden true, then you can spin around. So hopefully that works. If not, then I'll have to find a different way. So if I hit play, If I jump onto the wall, okay. Now he's not getting stuck there. It's because I created that transition from the jump to the scale wall of the animator. And hopefully, as soon as I hit that ceiling, hopefully he spins around. I can probably speed him up a bit. He's really slow. Okay, he's not doing anything. I'm saying if can ceiling hang is true, but what makes ceiling hang true? What if I go temporarily copy paste this? I want to cancel this. I want to do it without his ground. It's grounded. Same thing here. Copy paste. Cancel the first one out and make a second one. That way I can easily revert back to that. See if that made a difference. So now okay, it doesn't work. Okay, I want to cut it off here. This is something for me to work on. I'm just going to undo what I just did. I'm going to get rid of that extra line. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to cut it off here. This will be part one of the scale wall and ceiling hang. There's probably going to be a part two. Hopefully not a part three. Hopefully I get it all done in the next video. But I think this is enough for now. Thanks for watching, and please stay tuned for more videos.